Coronation Street. First look, Maggie finally admits the truth to Ben. The secret can no longer stay hidden. Maggie Driscoll finds herself with nowhere left to turn in Coronation Street, as she is pushed into revealing a long-buried and deeply painful secret. After accidentally letting it slip that her late husband Alan was not the biological father of her son Ben, Maggie is left with little option but to explain herself. But will Ben uncover the whole story? Friday's April 3rd episode saw tensions explode between mother and son during a fierce argument over Will, who has been groomed by Megan Walsh. When Maggie accused Ben of failing to protect his son, he hit back with a brutal remark, saying he wished she had died instead of his father. Enraged, Maggie demanded to know why Ben would choose Alan over his own flesh and blood, a phrase that immediately suggested Ben was not actually Alan's biological child. Although she quickly tried to take back what she had said, Ben instantly realized something was wrong. In upcoming scenes on the ITV soap, Ben becomes determined to uncover the truth, and a newly released spoiler clip from Sunday's April 5th episode shows the moment Maggie is finally forced to come clean. In the preview, Ben corners his mother in the back room of the Rovers, demanding to know exactly what she meant by flesh and blood. Maggie attempts to brush it off, insisting she only misspoke in the heat of the argument, but Ben is not convinced for a second. He points out that she is not the type of person to say things carelessly, reminding her that every word she speaks is usually carefully chosen before pushing her to finally tell him the truth. Maggie then tries a different approach, claiming that some things are better left buried in the past. But Ben refuses to let it go and even takes out his phone, threatening to call his brother Finley if she does not explain herself. With no realistic way to avoid the conversation any longer, Maggie is ultimately forced to confess, or at least reveal enough to stop Ben digging deeper. In an emotional moment, she admits that Alan was not actually Ben's real father. Although Maggie finally tells Ben the truth about Alan, she is still determined to keep one crucial detail hidden: the identity of his biological father. Viewers have already begun to suspect that Ben is the result of Maggie's affair with Jim McDonald, which would explain why she has been so desperate to keep the two families apart, especially as Ben has recently grown closer to Steve, Jim's son, with Liz. In scenes that follow, Steve turns up at the pub and explains that he is simply giving his daughter Amy some private time with Ben's son Ollie. But knowing the two children are actually related, Maggie is visibly shaken by the thought of them spending time together. As the Driscoll and McDonald families continue to grow closer, the pressure on Maggie only intensifies. Will she finally tell the full truth about their biological connection, or will she try to interfere once again before her past is completely exposed? Coronation Street and Emmerdale enjoy major ITVX ratings boost following schedule revamp. It looks like ITV's so-called Soap Power Hour has paid off in a big way. The broadcaster's decision to overhaul its soap schedule earlier this year now appears to be delivering strong results, with both Coronation Street and Emmerdale seeing impressive growth since the new format was introduced. Back in February 2025, ITV confirmed it would be changing the weekly structure of its two flagship soaps, reducing each show's total runtime by 30 minutes per week, while ensuring they aired across every weekday instead. Under the revised schedule, Emmerdale now airs at 8 p.m., followed by Coronation Street at 8:30 p.m., creating a new back-to-back Soap Power Hour between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. The format officially launched in January 2026, and early figures suggest the move has been a success. In a press release issued on Thursday, April 2nd, ITV said both soaps are currently on an upward trajectory, with their combined performance reaching more than 54 million streams on ITVX, representing a viewing increase of over 40%. That boost has also helped ITVX hit a major milestone, with the platform already surpassing 1 billion streams in 2026, a figure ITV says was reached 8 days earlier than it was in 2025. The strong momentum has also been supported by popular sport coverage and a number of successful drama titles, including Gone. When ITV first announced the scheduling shakeup last year, the broadcaster said the move was based on changing audience behavior, with Kevin Ligo, ITV's managing director of media and entertainment, explaining that the revised pattern was designed around how viewers now prefer to watch. ITV said it already offers viewers more flexibility than ever through ITVX, and that the aim was to deliver their favorite soaps in a way that felt easier and more convenient to keep up with. The broadcaster also argued that, in an increasingly competitive viewing landscape, shorter episodes make it easier for audiences to fit the soaps into their routine while still staying on top of major storylines. According to ITV, research also showed that soap viewers are increasingly responding to faster-paced storytelling, and that 30-minute, streaming-friendly episodes are better suited to audience expectations when it comes to pace, payoff, and resolution. Although this new scheduling pattern is now a permanent part of ITV's lineup, there have still been a few temporary adjustments in recent weeks. Due to live sports coverage on certain weekdays, some episodes of both soaps have occasionally been moved to Sundays instead. Coronation Street fans think they spotted the real Todd as they predict huge Theo twist. Coronation Street viewers believe they may have seen a glimpse of the real Todd Grimshaw during the latest episode, as his harrowing abuse storyline with Theo Silverton continues to leave fans heartbroken. As audiences have watched unfold on the ITV soap, Todd has been gradually slipping away in front of the people who care about him, while suffering both emotional and physical abuse from his new husband Theo. And although those closest to him now understand what is really happening, Theo's control over Todd appears to be tightening rather than weakening. Many Corrie fans initially thought the situation had reached breaking point when the couple split earlier this month. But the separation proved to be just another part of Theo's manipulation, and the pair soon reunited, before things escalated even further when Theo stunned everyone by organizing a surprise wedding, leaving Todd's loved ones confused and deeply concerned. Since then, Theo's abusive behavior has only become more disturbing. This time, however, his treatment of Todd has started to be witnessed by others. First by George Shuttleworth, who has since shared his concerns with those close to Todd, and later by Gary Windus, who had been one of Theo's few allies on the street. Now that his true nature is beginning to emerge, Theo has started putting his next plan into motion by trying to isolate Todd even further from the people around him. His latest move is to take Todd away to Belfast, where he claims he has secured an incredible new job. The tension came to a head during Thursday's April 2nd episode, when Theo discovered the emergency bag George had secretly given Todd for the day he felt ready to leave the abusive relationship. Terrified, Todd quickly lied and claimed he had simply let it slip by accident that he and Theo were moving to Belfast.